Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at a Greninja in the Open Master League. And you might wonder, why would you ever want to run a Pokemon like this in the Open Master League? The reason is, the meta is actually quite nice for this Pokemon. Reason is, number one, Rhyperior, double weakness to water and you outspeed them. Which is quite a nice thing, I have to say, which you're gonna see here as well. We do see him Peter though, but because we were staying in for a little bit in the beginning, the opponent got a little bit of an energy advantage, which doesn't really matter too much because I guarantee you win this matchup. Doesn't matter what the opponent gonna do here, they can either win this with 1 shield or 0 shields. And so we gonna see here starting in the back Tapu Bulu. Tapu Bulu can be a bit of a core breaker. Generally speaking, I guess our backline is quite weak against a lot of the similar things. But we're going to have a team here of Xerneas in lead, trying to counter, I actually don't really know, like Dragon type Pokemon mainly, I guess, like, you kind of really want to counter Pokemon like the Palkia, like these, what's called Zygarde, for example. We're going to have the Say Swap of our Yveltal, which is able to bait out most of the Fairy type Pokemon, of course, while still being able to do some sort of damage against them, thanks to the charge move of Oblivion Wing, and that is the main idea behind it. And then we're going to have in the back, of course, our Greninja, which can actually kind of counter the issues that Xerneas has. For example, Ho-Oh is one of the bigger issues, or like most of the Steel-type Pokemon currently, they're not part Dragon. Part Dragon you can beat with Xerneas. If it's not part Dragon, you can beat it actually with the Greninja. For example, of course, the Solgaleo or the Necrozma Duskmane. All of those boys, or like Heatran, are going to be all weak for what Greninja can do. So it's actually a very, very good core and very good team. I had some issues with lag again, but like that's been something that a lot of people are talking about, so I don't really need to repeat it. There will be maybe 1 or 2 times where I lose the battle because of it, but it is what it is. We're gonna see here the next opponent now. We're going to have Tapu Bulu against us. Tapu Bulu is going to be definitely an interesting one here again for us again. Luckily, we want to face on the lead. And honestly, to be fair, I don't really care too much what they're going to do here. Either use a shield and I swap out, or they're going to let the move go through and I swap out. Because in both scenarios, it's better for me to go for Sucker Punch, because Sucker Punch does quite a lot of damage. And here, if the opponent uses a shield, I can still go for the Oblivion Wing, which of course is going to one-shot the opponent. Greninja, where is it ranked? It's ranked 148 on PvPoke for the Open Master League. But then we're going to take a look at the Pokemon that it actually can beat, and we see Ho-Oh, Necrozma Dawn Wings, Mewtwo, Giratina Origin, and Rhyperior, for example, which are top meta Pokemon. I wanted to make a video actually about the Mewtwo today, but I haven't found a good team yet. If you have a team idea for Mewtwo, feel free to leave it down below in the comment section. Would really appreciate it, because I'm really looking forward to like having a solid team with that one. Looking at some other matchups that, for example, Greninja can win, it's going to be Pokemon like Landorus Therian, quite a common Pokemon as well. Then you have Excadrill, Ursaluna, Metagross, and then that's basically it as well. But you can beat the Necrozma Duskmane as well as the Necrozma, especially Dawn Wings, quite easily. And then 2 Shield scenario actually have the most amount of play, I think, with this Pokemon, because you're just so spammy, which is something that you don't really see too often in the Open Master League, because a lot of times Pokemon are not as spammy there. But yeah, you're going to be able to win matchups that you would like to win. For example, Yveltal as well in the 2 shield scenario, or even Zacian with Quick Attack Close Combat, you're going to be able to win in the 2 shields. So that's quite a lot of play for Greninja in this meta, and we can move on to game number 3. Bit of an issue can be Primarina. Primarina can be a very solid answer to our backline. Here's the thing, we're going to have a very neutral lead here, but what we're going to try to do next is we're going to try to go ahead and go for the Moonblast and get them a little bit lower. And we can take it. We're going to use a shield here, of course. I can go for Close Combat afterwards, mostly getting the shield from this charge move as well. This is going to allow us to get the KO, and we're going to see here in the back, it's going to be the Necrozma and the what's called Marshadow, which is going to be great, because Marshadow, the fast move, is actually going to be able to do quite nothing, the fast move against our Yveltal as well as our Greninja. It's not counter anymore, and so it's actually a very solid matchup for us. Funnily enough, which I didn't know before, is that Marshadow wins the CMP here, which I'm okay with, because I know at this point that Greninja has basically the full potential to sweep the entire game. We're going to have a matchup where you're going to have double super effective Night Slash, and we're going to have a matchup where we're going to have just the Idoken here doing enough damage to knock them out. Here, even the Night Slash is going to be enough. And so we're going to be in a great position. They're going to go for the Ice Punch here again as well, going for a bait. That's great, because we're still going to be able to go for the double Night Slash against the opponents. Necrozma, yes, they need to, even though it's quadruple effective. But yeah, it just barely needs like 2 of them because it's just not a hard-hitting move, and it's also not a Pokemon that has a CP that should really allow it to be good in the Master League. But as you can see so far, it is quite decent. So, next up, we're going to have the Zacian there as well. Let's see here, we're going to have the Xerneas against it. Of course, we're going to try to get some damage onto them. Our backline doesn't really like this Pokemon. I don't really like playing against Zacian with this team, I have to say. But, yeah, we're going to be able to now go ahead and let the move go through. We're going to try our best to go for close combat. And then this is going to be totally fine because it's going to allow us to get the shield from the opponent. In comes our Yveltal. We're going to use a shield here, and this is gonna be another wild charge there as well. And I think this was the one battle, I think, as well, where I lagged a little bit and the opponent got a free fast move in. No, never mind, it was a different one. There was a station battle basically where I would have avoided a charge move from them if the game allowed me to get my fast move in, which I should have done. But anyway, we're going to be able to go for an Oblivion Ring. We're going to do some sort of damage against the Yveltal, but it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle here for sure. As we will see here, me going into my Xerneas, as you will see here now as well, it's going to be a bit of an awkward one. We're going to try to go for close combat here. Close combat is going to connect now, getting the knockout, and in comes the, it's going to be the Dialga. I wish I would just stayed in maybe for a bit, try to go for close combat or something, but this one we're going to have to go for the Knight/Spam, and as you will see here, this is going to allow us to get yeah, some nice damage onto them, but we would have needed a boost here, which we didn't get. If we could have got a boost in the first 2, we would have been most likely okay here to get the shield from them, and then this baby would have opened up a door later on. But as you're gonna see here, we're gonna get a boost for the final one, which literally doesn't matter at all, and I do think they're going to be able to outspeed me anyway, right? Let's find out here. Can we still get to a close combat in time? Then we would have seen if a boost would have helped us. We would have won, okay? We would have won, it's fine, yeah, but it is what it is. Like, we were just a bit unlucky, that's okay. And we can move on to the next opponent. Drake Media at the end was also a bit unnecessary, but they knew that they would have won anyway. So we're going to see Necrozma coming in, and it's better to go into the Yveltal. But in theory, you're going to be able to resist every single hit on your Greninja. And we see here Sunsteel Strike doing way more damage than I knew. I haven't played Master League in quite a bit. I have to say, I think this is the first time I really... Maybe I actually played a bit before Master League, but basically... It is not really a league that I play a lot of times, so like I'm not too familiar with a lot of the counts, or like not the count, but mainly a lot of the damage output. So as you're gonna see here, we're gonna try our best to go for another Night Shade against the Night Slash against the opponent's Necrozma, get the KO. We have a shield advantage. We have the Yveltal coming in. That's actually a very solid matchup for us. But I know that we're gonna need the Greninja for later on. They swap out into the Dialga at the same time as I swap out into my Xerneas, which is gonna be great because now we're gonna get a ton of damage. And yeah, as we will see here as well, we're gonna have the opponent going for very likely soon another charge move, but they decided to just stay in here, which is going to be okay. We're gonna get here the Moonblast coming in, and we're gonna try our best here using a shield against the opponent. This is going to be fine. It's going to be an Iron Head, and we're gonna try our best to go for another charge move. It does not work out in time, but it's still gonna be okay. The Iron Head is gonna get shielded, and I expect the opponent to stop out eventually, but they decide to stay in, allowing us to get a ton of damage in here as well. This is going to allow us to knock them out. And in comes again the Yveltal, and even if they knock me out here, I'm fairly certain that we should be kind of fine with all the energy that we have on Greninja, but I can still... Okay, I'm gonna still try to troll around a little bit by going, yeah, for... some Hydro Cannons with my Greninja are totally unnecessary, but I just kind of, I guess, showcase Greninja and how much damage it can do. We're sadly gonna still go down here, but it is what it is. We're gonna be able to still get the knockout here with either Close Combat or the Moonblast. Close Combat it is, and we're gonna be able to just move on now to the next opponent. So, let's see what we're going to have next up. Elite, that's great usually, but then again, not really. The opponent going to outspeed me here, which is a bit annoying. I should have went for the close combat there as well, just for the fun, but I decided to use a shield here. Do I go for close combat now? No, I decided to go for the easier route, I guess, because you're definitely gonna get either the knockout or the shield. We're gonna see here, I think, even the attack drop, and we can swap out into the Yveltal to catch the move. Again, there's no bad matchup for us here. There's no bad matchup for the Giratina, there's only bad matchups for the Giratina, no bad matchup for us there, as yeah, Giratina gets walled by basically the entire team, which is gonna be great because we have Dark types and we have Fairy type Pokemon. So yeah, speaking of Fairy type Pokemon, we have Xerneas against us. We still should hopefully be able to go ahead and go for a close combat here against the opponent. Oh, we're gonna go for Moonblast against the opponent and knock them out in time. I don't think they're gonna use a shield here, would be very weird. And yeah, they let the move go through. We will see here. Let's see what's coming in. It's going to be the opponent's Rhyperior. That's actually fine. I can go for a close combat, try to get the shield here from the opponent. I think I can deny the fast move here as well, which I should have not been able to do. But again, like that happened against me as well the entire time, so I feel like that is kind of fair. We all see the Broguiere coming through, which is actually quite nice because it allows me to go for the full farm now without having to worry about anything. And as they're going to go into the Giratina, I have quite some energy stored already. I know they're going to be able to resist at least the fast and charge move from the opponent. And we can go for the Night Slash spam as the opponent decides to use a shield. That is fine, we still should be able to get the KO here as well. It is going to be the Shadow Ball coming through. We're going to go for Night Slash now afterwards. This will allow us to get the KO against the opponent. And we swap out here still into the Xerneas. I should be able to go for the close combat in time. I can, and this is going to be it for this one. And we can move on to the next opponent. Second to last one here for today. We're going to have the Zacian against the Xerneas again. I don't really like this one, but you're just gonna stay in here, of course. And yeah, as we will see that the opponent is gonna go for another charge move. It's going to be the Play Rough now. We can go for our own Moonblast. I think the opponent got a free fast move in here right now, which is kind of annoying for us, but it is what it is. We're gonna get the attack drop. No Moonblast video without an attack drop. That is what we do on this channel. Attack drops are the most important things anyway. As you're gonna see here, the opponent is gonna still... this was the battle. This was the battle where I lacked a bit. If I would have got one more fast move in, which I should have got in when the opponent went for the first charge move, I would have been able to knock them out before I had to use a shield there. And that would have been great, or like without the damage there. And this would have allowed me to basically completely flip this matchup as well. So like there was a lot of things that just didn't really go right. And that's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're gonna see here now the opponent having their own Yveltal. We're gonna go into our Xerneas, as I would have just found us down anyway. We're gonna be able to go for the close combat, I want to say, but now it's down to Greninja to still win this battle for us. Not too sure if Greninja is going to be able to do exactly this, but we will see very, very soon. We're gonna have, you know, the opponent getting the KO onto us, which is actually really good that they decided to use some energy here. And now it's down to Greninja to win this one. We do super effective damage here, but we have to hope that they don't debuff us first. I do not think that they have enough energy for that one, but yeah, as you will see here, we're gonna have the opponent stopping out into the Yveltal. I can go into my own Yveltal. I hope that I can still knock them out here in time, which I can't. I should have just went for the charge move in the beginning. Silly me, very bad decision making here. I could have won this battle most likely, but we can move on to the next opponent. Final opponent for today, Horrible Lead, and kinda neutral matchup here, I guess. We're gonna be able to go for the Oblivion Ring. Oblivion Ring gonna get some very solid damage against them, or we're gonna get the shield, and I do like this. We should have a little bit of an energy advantage compared to the opponent as well. So we use a shield here, we're gonna try to play it out. And it's going to be the spatial rent that's perfect, absolutely perfect. We're gonna get the Oblivion Ring in. This is gonna be fine. Let's see how this is gonna go. We will try our best to get to another move in time. We can CMP tie though, but I'd rather keep the shield from my Greninja in the back, because even, yes, we have a type advantage against the Necrozma, we just don't have the stat advantage there. Our stats are kind of really bad on Greninja, very attack rated. So like there I'm not really too sure if a Sunseer Strike would have not just knocked us out straight away, and that is basically the main reason why we decided to keep the shield here for later on. We will see the Necrozma coming back in. Close combat is around 50%, so it actually does some very nice significant damage. And we can swap out straight away into our Greninja, which means we can hopefully go for the Night Slash spam. As you'll see here, the opponent is going to be able to go for the CMP tie. It's going to be an Outrage. And in comes the Kyogre. This is going to be very interesting. If they swapped out straight away here, I feel like they would have been in a better spot. But it is going to be okay. We're going to be still going to be able to go for just the Night Slash here, which is going to get them kind of low. But we have to play very, very well here. We have to kind of try to catch a move most likely. Catching the move is the only way of really winning this one here. And as you can see, I was able to catch a move here. But I wanted to go for a close combat to knock them out, but I didn't, and that's kind of silly. And so yeah, it's down to Greninja, and it's down to Necrozma. We can go for Night Slash, but we have to kind of hope for a boost here in order to have a chance of winning. We don't get the boost, but can we still knock them out? I go for the Hydro Cannon. Was that the right play is the question. It is going to allow us to get them kind of low, but it is also going to allow the opponent to win the battle here. And turns out Hydro Cannon does the exact same amount of damage as Night Slash, so I didn't do any mistake there in the end. It is what it is, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.